Welcome to Automotive Antics. I'm Kevin, and today we're talking about the 2022 Ford Maverick pickup truck. Now this is a small, compact pickup truck, which is even smaller than the Ranger, which is now considered a mid-size truck. Now trucks like the Ranger, Colorado, Tacoma, even the Frontier are now considered mid-size trucks, which left the small compact truck market empty until now. And I think the Maverick fits the bill perfectly. Now, as far as aesthetics are concerned, the Maverick is a nice looking truck in my opinion. I love the looks from the back angle, say the back 3/4 of the truck. The only quarrel I have is the front end, the grille, the headlight area, the front bumper. It looks a little bland. Maybe it's something I need to see in person. Maybe it's not. I'm not 100% sure. I would love to hear your opinions down below. Now, I don't want to make it sound like I dislike the front of the truck. I don't. I do like it. I just think it could be a little more aggressive. The rest of the truck flows really well. I like the design of the tail end. The tailgate reminds me a lot like the Ranger. Even the silhouette of the truck, the side view, looks really good. Overall, I'm very impressed with the looks. So let's talk about the interior for a minute. Now, the interior reminds me a lot of the Bronco Sport. I don't know if they did that on purpose or if it's just the way I'm seeing things, but that's what it reminds me of. It's a very rugged, utilitarian style interior. Now, it's very clean, very modern. I do like that. I have no quarrels at all with this. I think it's a very attractive interior. Now, the steering wheel is almost exactly what you're going to find in the Bronco Sport. The gauge cluster, very similar to that as well. Very clean, very simple, very easy to read. I like the display. I think it's a very nice setup, especially for the price point. I'm also a big fan of the stretched out rectangular design on the dashboard. Now, even from the pictures, you can tell there's a lot of hard plastics being used in the areas of the interior. Ford said they did that on purpose, try to keep the cost of the vehicle down. But aesthetically, it still looks good. I'm not going to be able to tell how it feels until I actually get to sit in it, but it looks utilitarian, it looks rugged, it's still a very attractive interior. I'm not sure yet if those hard plastics are going to affect the way I feel about that, again, until I can actually sit in it. You will see the same turn dial gear selector that you will find in the Bronco Sport. Again, I think they are pulling a lot of styling cues from that. Now, in front of that, you have nice sized cubby holes and 2 cup holders underneath that. You'll find even more storage for water bottles in the door panels themselves. It's actually kind of molded into the door, which is very neat. There's no shortage of storage space in this vehicle whatsoever, which is very nice. Now, the design of the door itself is very unique to the Maverick. I think it's very stylish. I love the design look of it. I think this is a very good use of the plastic that Ford said that they had to use to keep the price down. Now, as far as the infotainment screen is concerned, you have a nice 8-inch display there with another storage cubby next to it and one behind it. Now, just under that, you'll have your radio control knobs. Below that, your climate control vents. And finally, all your climate controls, which are very nicely laid out and easy to read. Now, if you're looking to power or charge any of your electronic equipment, you'll find a plethora of USB ports and power outlets spread all over the truck. Now, the back seat supplies plenty of legroom, but if you need even more interior storage, all you have to do is flip that up and you have an immense amount of storage space underneath that rear seat. But when flipped down, you also have plenty of creature comforts back there for your passengers with even more USB ports and power outlets. Now, as far as the powertrain is concerned, the standard engine in the Maverick is going to be a 2.5 hybrid 4-cylinder, which makes 162 horsepower at 5,600 RPMs and 151 pound-feet of torque at 4,000 RPMs. But is helped out with a 94 kilowatt electric motor, which brings the total horsepower to 191. And if you opt for the hybrid engine, you will also get a CVT style transmission. And this combination will get you 40 miles per gallon in the city, 33 highway with 37 combined. And Ford says you can also get about 500 miles to a tank of gas. So if you're looking to get the best gas mileage you can, the hybrid is the way to go. But if the hybrid isn't your cup of tea and you just want all out power, then you might want to look at the 2-liter turbocharged EcoBoost engine, which makes 250 horsepower at 5,500 RPM and 277 pound-feet of torque at 3,000 RPMs. Now, if those numbers sound familiar, that is because they are the same horsepower and torque numbers as the Bronco Sport. And that's because the Bronco Sport shares the same exact 2-liter engine that is in the Maverick. Now, unlike the hybrid, the EcoBoost gets a conventional 8-speed automatic transmission, and in my opinion, that alone is worth getting the EcoBoost for. Now, the Maverick does come standard with front-wheel drive, but all-wheel drive is an option for an extra $3,300. Now, of course, being a truck, we do have to talk payload capacity and towing capabilities. Regardless of whether you get the hybrid or the EcoBoost, payload capacity stays the same at 1,500 pounds, which is pretty impressive. Now, the tailgate itself, while folded down, can hold 400 pounds and can also be locked in a 45-degree angle. Now, as far as towing is concerned, the hybrid can tow 2,000 pounds. The EcoBoost will be able to tow 3,500 pounds, or you can get the tow package for that EcoBoost and your towing capability will be bumped up to about 4,500 pounds. Now, since we're talking about payload capacities and utilitarian capabilities, I guess we should also talk about the size of that bed. Now, that comes with a 4.5-foot bed. That is your only size option since the truck does come standard with the Super Crew configuration. Now, other dimensions of the Maverick that we'll talk about in comparison to other vehicles such as the Ranger, the Maverick measured out to 199.7 inches long. Now, that's about the same length as a Dodge Charger and 11 inches shorter than a Ford Ranger. Now, as far as height is concerned, the Maverick comes out at 68.7 inches high, where the Ranger is 71.1 inches high. Not as big a difference there as the length, so if you're worried about headroom, if you're a tall person, then height may not be a big concern here. Now, like every other Ford truck, it comes in multiple trims, the XL, XLT, and Lariat models. Now, the XLT and Lariat models can also be equipped with the FX4 off-road package. Now, all these trims and packages, I'm going to go into further detail, pricing, and what each trim includes in another video, since that is a rather long list. But overall, I'm actually super impressed with this truck. I think Ford's hit a home run with it. I would love to hear your opinions down below, what you think of the Maverick, as long as you see this truck for what it is. It's not a workhorse. It's not an F-150. It's basically a utilitarian car with a bed. It does come with all-wheel drive, not four-wheel drive, so there's no low gearing. So overall, I think with that being said, this truck's going to do really well. If your expectations of this truck are kept to what its capabilities were meant for, this is going to be a big seller. So make sure you stick around to the next video where we discuss all the trim levels, what's included with them, and the pricing. So in order to do that, I'm going to need you to hit that subscribe button and hit that bell notification so you know when that next video drops, and I'll catch you on the next upload.